Let's look at Apple's iCloud service. Apple's iCloud service will do a couple of things for you. The one thing it will do is back up files onto the cloud. So if you drop your iPad into the lake, you're okay, you have a backup. Another thing it will do is sync files between devices. For example, if I have mine syncing music and I download something from iTunes onto my iPad, if my phone is also connected to that same iCloud account, that music will automatically be on my phone as well. So let's get started. Apple has recently done something where you now have an iCloud account that can be separate from your Apple ID. And they do this in part because people sometimes share Apple IDs, especially families. Maybe a family has a single Apple ID, but they have 4 different devices with different things on them. One for the parents, one for the kids, and that kind of thing. If they were using that same Apple ID to sync devices, all of their devices would be identical, and they don't want that. So this allows you to have a single Apple ID for a family, but each person in the family can have their own iCloud ID, which allows them to back up the different configurations of their devices. So I'm in the iCloud area of my iPad's system settings, and you see my Apple ID on the screen. That shows up on the screen by default because that is the Apple ID that is currently logged into this iPad. I, however, have a different iCloud ID that will allow my backup and sync to be unique to me. If you have an Apple ID but you don't have an iCloud ID, it's not very difficult to do. Choose Get a Free Apple ID. Choose a birth date. I guess there really is no reason to sync my own, so I will just go back far enough. Next. Give it my first name and my last name. And here I could select Get a Free iCloud email address. I've already been through that process. I have one. I am going to back all the way out. And I'm going to log into this iCloud account with my new iCloud email address. And notice the email address is @icloud.com. The first thing that happens is it wants to know if I want iCloud to use the location. That's a pretty good idea. I'm going to select OK. If I lose it or if it gets stolen, I have a better chance of finding it. Now you see all these different options on the screen. I personally use a third party for the email, the contacts, and calendars and reminders, so I'm going to turn all of those off. I am going to select delete from my iPad. However, if you are unsure, your best bet is to not do that. Safari. You can allow the bookmarks on Safari to be shared among devices. I keep my bookmarks online, so I will turn that off. And I will delete again. You should keep if you're unsure. The notes I definitely want between my iPhone and my iPad. That's very helpful to me. That's the note apps you see on your main screen. Shares the notes there. Photos, documents, and data. I'm going to leave all of that on. And underneath all of this, you see storage and backup. Right underneath that, you see that my iCloud backup is off. If I accidentally toss my iPad into a lake, I'm in trouble. I have no backup, unless, of course, I'm using a cloud storage service. So let's select Storage and Backup. And you see I have a total of 5 gigabytes of storage and available 4.1 gigabytes. That means I've used almost a gig of storage already. And this is the free plan. If you need more than that, you can select Change Storage Plan, and you can pay for more storage. Let's click Manage Storage, and you see an old backup that I've already done that's taking up the almost 900 megabytes. Now, let's turn on our iCloud backup. And this will give you important information. The iPad will back up when the screen is black, but it's still powered on. So basically it's gone to sleep. It's plugged in and has a wireless signal. Not 3G, not 4G, wireless. Then it will run its backup, and it will no longer automatically sync with iTunes when you connect it to your computer. And that's how you set up an iCloud.